guys. So in this video lesson, I'm going to teach you how to sound like that. How to sound like the guy that turns everyone's heads whenever he picks up an acoustic guitar. And that is done by good old-fashioned boring theory. So let's zoom in. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so how am I producing all of this little lead noodling magic in between all of my chords? That is by way of theory. So you need to know your major scale first. And that is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And what that translates to in the key of G is G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, back to G. And that keeps going. Goes to an A again. It's going to just keep on going. Then to B, then to C, D, E, F sharp, and then G again. And it'll just loop over and over those 7 notes. It'll continue just playing on through, octave by octave, okay? And so what I want you to do first is to memorize that G major open pattern, okay? So that scale is very, very important. You actually don't even have to know the major scale all that well and the theory all that well. If you just memorize this pattern, you can actually just start using it. Anyways, here is the pattern one more time. 3rd fret E string, A, our open A string, 2nd fret A string, 3rd fret A string, open D string, 2nd fret D string, 4th fret D string, open G string, 2nd fret G string, open B string, 1st fret B string, 3rd fret B string, open E string, 2nd fret E string, and finally our 3rd fret E string. And I encourage you to walk that up and then back. Like that'll just help get that in your brain even better. Okay, so just memorize that pattern. And if that was a little bit fast, it's okay. Click my website below. It's in the description of this YouTube video, and it'll take you to my website. And underneath this video on my website, I'll actually have that whole scale written out for you, tabbed out and everything. Okay. So, anyways, memorize that, and then you can start to noodle and have some fun. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So, you also need to know a little bit more theory. You need to get a little bit more involved, and you know which chords are in the G major scale. Okay, because the G major scale, what chords fit in those will determine basically what chords you can use, and how this noodling works is all based off the G major scale. So basically you need to know that in the G major scale, to go that step further, the chords you can use are G, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, and then there's an F sharp diminished. We're just going to skip that for now. It's not often used, so we're just going to skip it. So let's go back to G, okay? So those 6 chords, G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, okay? Any of those chords, if you use them, they're going to sound really, really good in using this particular noodling system because it's all in the same key, G major, okay? So let me show exactly what I'm talking about. If I play a G major, and I know my notes, I know my pattern. If I memorize my pattern, I know that this open string, this A string is good. 2nd fret's good. Open D strings in that scale. 2nd fret D strings in that scale, so I can kind of play with that. So I'm just doing a little bit of hammer-ons on the A string, open to 2nd fret. Playing my D string open. Doing a little pull-off here, 2nd fret to open. Back to my 2nd fret A string, open D string. I'm just kind of playing around, right? You can do that a million different ways. As long as you're in your pattern, it's all going to sound good. The second you go out of your pattern, it's going to sound awful. So stay in the scale. Stay in that fence, okay? So using that on G, crazy with this thing. You can do this thing with any chord in the G major scale, which is why it's important to know your theory. Go through it, okay? C major, we mentioned that was one of the chords that we could use in our theory, right? That's one of the chords in the G major scale. That's the 4 chord in our G major scale. So you can do stuff like this. You can do that open D string, hammer on with your middle finger to the note of E, D to E. Both of those are notes in our scale. You can do this. You can play that note with your pinky on there, on the B string, 3rd fret. Watch this. Another chord in the G major scale is D. If you know your pattern, that open string is there, 3rd fret, we can use that one. That's all. These are all notes in our scale. Cool, right? So that's where all of that fancy stuff comes from. It's from good old boring theory. So learn this stuff. That note, I'm just doing a little hammer-ons from, I'm playing that E string open at first, and I do a little hammer on the middle finger on the 2nd fret. It sounds really great. I can do that as well. I can pull off with my pinky. I can do a hammer on and pull off a trill. Right? Same thing here. And I can do this for any chord in my G major scale. I'll go one step further. A minor is in my scale. It's my 2 chord. Right? Cool, right? So once you master the scale and you know what chords you can use, you can sound like a complete boss every time you pick up the guitar and you play something in the G major scale. Alright, thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Please like this video, subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.